Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you. Asanteni sana. Thank you. Wonderful. For this state, you can do it, just like he has done it. As chairman of the Finance Committee of the Parliamentary Service Commission, Honorable Ali guards public funds with the same discipline he once brought to investigative journalism. He was ranked first in the Coast region and 10th nationally as best performing member of parliament. Through the Muhammad Ali Foundation, he has built scholarship.
Our mission is to protect people.
For persons living with disabilities. Honorable Ali brings not only the Coast region, but a younger generation of hard-working Kenyan leaders who want to live in a country that respects and rewards integrity over patronage into the very heart of this party's leadership. Therefore, becomes the first among equals, my immediate deputy party leader. And he brings a name that this regime cannot buy and will not intimidate. Ndengwa Njiru becomes the party's first spokesperson, a new office created for a new season of struggle. Njiru, even as we speak, is not here. He's in court trying to get out our nominated member of parliament from Makueni County, Honorable Kana, who was arrested and by a fleet of 10 Sumbaros yesterday out of Matiliko. Spent the whole night being driven all over the place. And so we do not even know whether he's at Milimani or whether they're taking him to Kibera. And they what he does very well, standing for dignity and justice of every Kenyan. Njiru, as I said, is a constitutional advocate of the High Court, constitutional lawyer, admitted to the bar in 2011, and advocates who has spent his career standing between ordinary citizens and the arbitrary exercise of power. Ndengwa has stood in the impeachment corridors of this country and stood beside young Kenyans arrested for exercising their constitutionally guaranteed rights. He has stood for members of parliament unlawfully detained. As I said, he's even exactly doing that now. Ndengwa will now stand at the podium of the Wiper Patriotic Front and speak for it with the same vigor he has brought to every courtroom he has entered. In fact, sometimes I end up telling Ndengwa Njiru in court, wait a minute, don't. A man of proven integrity and a defender of the rule of law. Each of them a perfect fit for a party whose only agenda is to kukomboa Kenya, to literally rescue this country. Wazalendo wenzangu, we are not only working hard, we are working smart. And that is why you see these new appointments built to take this country back from a regime that has mistaken state power. We agreed, as we have always been, that division is this regime's only strategy. Therefore, we will not agree. And even if you see some disagreements between party leaders in the coalition, please don't take that very seriously. Yeah, we are united because we know if we divide the opposition, William Ruto, a terrible, terrible thing for this country. Those engagements continue, and they will not stop until every party and every leader who stands against captured governance continues to test the patience of Kenyans, and I will not let today pass without addressing what is unfolding before our very own eyes. Number one, the IBC and the duty to hold elections. The chairperson of the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission, Bwana Erastus Ndung Ethekon, has told Kenyans that the commission cannot hold elections in the current environment. I ask Ethekon plainly, what does the law actually say? The Constitution fixes the date of the 2027 general election. The Elections Act under Section 55B gives the Commission narrow, specific power to defer voting, not the whole election, but particular polling stations, particular wards or constituencies, not only where there is a real and immediate threat of a breach of peace, a natural disaster, a malpractice so severe that voting cannot proceed fairly. Nowhere does the law hand any chairperson a blank check to threaten an entire nation with postponement because the political temperature makes him uncomfortable. Bwana Ethekon, please, safety belts. If he cannot summon the spine to enforce the law as it is written, he should step aside for someone else. We need an electoral commission that flinches. It needs one that counts. It's also here. I need a citation, but I know it. Ambassador Siad served for 10 years as a even as the arrested member for Mukurweini, Mheshimiwa Kagucha, and yesterday they were arrested ya kitanda. Is it practical? Ask yourself, is it even practical? And when Kana says, he talks about spears, Kampas don't carry spears. It's the Maasais who do so. So you see. So I'll go back now to agenda, my point number 2, the demeaning spectacle of state-sponsored handouts. We have also watched, by election after by election, the return of a practice that should shame any government claiming to serve its people. Kenyans lined up like school children, women in one queue, men in another, the youth in a third, to receive handouts from this regime's agents. And by the way, it was Mr. William Ruto who started this practice of very demeaningly asking people to line up to be given long queues. I saw one a week ago near my village, a place called Tremua, where his agents were there asking people to line up. They line up, they're given 100 shillings, 100 shillings, or 200 shillings, as the case may be. Can you imagine what that does to the psyche of the Kenyan father, mother? So, Mr. Ethekon, to be bribing people openly. That is not the Kenya we want, for sure. But that practice was started by Mr. Ruto when he was actually campaigning to become president. This is not development. Yesterday, he called 5,000 watchmen. But one thing we must ask ourselves, in addition to whatever little handout he gave them, he also gave them, did you know, what do you call that? Pre-rigging. We know that some of them will hand over those telephones, those mobile telephones, because they have conscience. and they will not sell their country. So the whole world is watching you, Mr. Ruto, as you try to undermine the outcome of the next electoral contest. Not a handout line to choose their leaders. Yet, even despite these demeaning acts, the residents of our Kalau showed Kenya, the region, and indeed the world, that they would not be intimidated because of handouts and bribery. They showed all of us that one term is not only possible, but actually it is inevitable. The third point I want to make is on Ruto's call to have a conversation about 2060. And as I said in Embu, before you go to 2060, we are in 2027. We have 3 years to Vision 2030 conclusion. There are important milestone projects that President Kibaki, who promulgated this very consultative process. If you talk to President Uhuru Kenyatta, he was then the leader in the opposition. Peter Nyang' was a minister for planning. Mr. Henry Kinyua was a PS Treasury. And after Cabinet passed that resolution to come up with Vision 2030, they had to consult properly with the opposition. The matter was brought before the National Assembly, and President Uhuru Kenyatta we have flagship projects, one of which is the High Grand Force, meant to give this country 750 megawatts of electricity. Now, because of corruption, and I keep on reminding him, President Ruto met with Prime Minister Sunak of the then Prime Minister of the UK in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. And there was a consortium of British investors who were ready to move with speed and to realize Vision 2030 project in terms of the High Grand Force. But because the overriding consideration in this administration is corruption, they even went ahead and suspended it because Mr. Ruto and his cronies would wish to give it to their preferred investors. If you do that to a known democracy, the United Kingdom, you're actually maligning the very image of yourself and your government. These things don't happen that way. So before you talk about Vision 2060, these are low-lying fruits under Vision 2030, where I myself was an architect. And so, please, spare us the agony and do the right thing. I lost my notes. I have to go back. Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay. Thank you. I thought it was important to elaborate that. So let me be clear about what is coming. The only conversation Kenyans will have that matters is the one they will only have on August 10 next year at the ballot. After that, Kenyans will sit and take stock of where we are. It will still be 3 years to the end of Vision 2030. Every other conversation this regime tries to force upon us is a red herring, invented to distract Kenyans from the cost of living crisis, the jobs that never came, and the debt our children will spend their lives repaying. We will not be distracted. Let me let you have a secret. When Mr. William Ruto wanted to appoint the new cabinet after the Gen Z revolt, remember, he dissolved his cabinet. Mr. William Ruto consulted with the late brother Raila Odinga, and Raila invited me to a conversation he had with Mr. Ruto. And one of the things that they discussed within my hearing was Raila's clarion call Tell him, Mr. Ruto, please go ahead and form your half cabinet. We want a national conversation. And as Azimio la Umoja One Kenya, when we are through with that conversation, we will give you the names of our half cabinet. Mr. Ruto did not wait for that to happen. He went ahead and now enticed the famous 4 experts, so-called experts, one by one, against the advice of our late brother Raila Odinga. That is the truth in the country we live in. I think that's what Mr. Ruto is now trying to remember. Oh, Raila wanted a national conversation. That's what he's trying to remember. It is too late. The conversation we all are waiting for is on 10th. Of course, the conversation continues about free, fair, democratic, credible election. We will not, as I said, be distracted. Mr. Ruto has heard us very clearly from this podium, from WPF headquarters, one term. One term. One term. One term. One term. You don't even deserve it, but we give it to you. One term. One term. Thank you, and God bless, and Komboa Kenya. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, I think it's only fair I can take them. I think that I can say one thing. We start with Buster Seat. Say 1 or 2 things. Accepted. Oh, he's here. Buster Seat. Buster Seat, one comment. You know you spoke there, but just let the media see your face. You may have hata utatoa hiyo kofia kidogo wakuone.
Thank you very much.
Tunakuambia Ijumaa Mubarak.
Good Friday, by the way.
Yeah.
My name is Ambassador Siat Osman Ibrahim. I'm former mayor, former ambassador, former county secretary. I'm happy